Welcome to Delta Wave History, your sanctuary for functional historical boredom. Our focus will remain on the historical, methodical, numerical, and the procedural. This allows your mind to unwind and drift into historical details. Please adjust your volume for a consistent, even tone. We aim for a predictable vocal rhythm, devoid of sudden shifts in pitch or intensity, designed to facilitate a state of tranquil observation and sleep, if you wish. Tonight, we will examine the meticulous, structurally necessary art of mending stockings in the 18th century. In an era before mechanized mass production, a pair of hand-knitted stockings represented a significant investment of time and capital. Discarding them for a minor structural failure was economically unsound, necessitating a rigorous approach to repair. The process begins with the precise selection of materials. The mending thread must accurately match the original garment in fiber, twist, and diameter to maintain uniform tension and prevent uneven wear. We will first address a common point of friction, a worn spot on the heel that has not yet ruptured. For this, the technique known as Swiss darning, or duplicate stitch, is deployed to reinforce the failing grid. Swiss darning requires the mender to trace the exact mathematical path of the existing weakened yarn. The needle emerges at the base, passes behind the legs of the stitch immediately above it, and returns through the original entry point. This method preserves the inherent elasticity of the knitted fabric. The repetitive, mechanical motion, up, around, and down, rebuilds the structural integrity without adding undue bulk. Focus relies heavily on the tension of the thread. If the tension is pulled too tight, the fabric will pucker and fail. If left too loose, the repair will catch and tear during subsequent use. When a complete material rupture occurs, a more aggressive intervention is required, the woven darm. The first step is to secure the perimeter to arrest the unraveling of the knit structure. The mender establishes a defensive boundary. A running stitch is worked a half-inch outside the damaged area, creating a stable, load-bearing foundation for the new threads. Next, the warp threads are established. The needle bridges the gap, anchoring deep into the intact fabric, creating a series of strict parallel lines spanning the opening. These vertical threads must be evenly spaced to match the precise gauge of the original knitting. The structural soundness of the final weave depends entirely on the accuracy of this underlying framework. Now, the weft is introduced to the matrix. The needle passes under the first warp thread, over the second, under the third, methodically crossing the span. Upon reaching the far side, the needle anchors in the margin and reverses course. The pattern alternates exactly. What was over is now under, generating a plain weave structure directly within the void. The density of the new fabric is critical to its lifespan. After every few rows, the shaft of the needle is used to press the weft threads firmly together, eliminating structural gaps. Over, under, over, under. The process is inherently slow, demanding sustained focus and a steady, unchanging mechanical rhythm. The woven patch provides a durable replacement for the missing knit structure. While it lacks the biaxial stretch of the original garment, it fully restores utility. In cases of catastrophic wear, where the entire heel has deteriorated beyond patching, the damaged section must be fully excised. This requires the advanced technique of grafting. The compromised material is systematically removed from the garment. The mender must carefully secure the live loops of the remaining knitting to prevent the immediate unraveling of the leg. A replacement component knitted to the exact mathematical dimensions of the excised section, is introduced. The objective is to seamlessly fuse the two separate pieces of fabric. Grafting, or the Kitchener stitch, involves perfectly mimicking the path of a knitted row with a sewing needle. The thread enters a loop on the upper fabric, drops to a loop on the lower fabric, and returns. The thread passes through every live loop exactly twice, once from the front, once from the back. When executed with correct tension, the resulting seam is structurally identical to the surrounding knit and entirely invisible. The integrity of the garment is fully restored. Through applied mechanical understanding and methodical repetition, practical utility is reclaimed from ruin. The techniques of plain weaving, Swiss darning, and grafting require only fundamental tools and focused, quiet time. As the task concludes, the mind is permitted to step away from the meticulous grid of warp and weft. The structural problems of the day have been resolved, stitch by careful stitch. Rest now, knowing the framework holds secure. Discover more history by watching the next video. We're eager to share more with you. You can't go wrong. All our videos are deeply detailed, dull while fascinating, and distinctly sleep-inducing.